Yo, Still Mills, what's the deal, man? It's motherfucking Friday, man. Listen, man, we had a drag out blizzard up here on Wednesday night, man. Like it was it was wild. The snowfall was heavy. It took me a while to scrape all that ice and snow off my car, my wife's car. It was slick as shit outside, man. It was wild, man. It was wild. And just the day before that, it was 77 degrees, and the day before that, it was 80. So we get hit with that blizzard on Wednesday night. Thursday, we back in the 40s. Friday, it's 44 right now, and it's 8 in the morning, man. So Mother Nature be on. Mother Nature is different, man. Mother Nature is different. Respect nature, respect life, man. But peep game, man. Let's get into this shit, man. We gotta talk about this Bill Haney and Gabe Rosado situation, man. Listen, man. I keep saying it, man. Daddies need to step back and let them boys be the men that y'all raised them to be, man. Y'all cannot run to their aid every time some dumb shit happens. You can show support that you in their corner. You can do that, but it gets to a point where it just reaches a level of ridiculousness that just can't really came back from, man. First off, I didn't see anything wrong with what Gabe Rosado said about Devin Haney because he's not right. He's not wrong. He's absolutely right. If we being real, that's not saying that he's gonna win the fight. But that's just simply saying, my nigga, you dig? This ain't no walk in the park. This ain't no, you, it's a threat. This dude is a legitimate threat. He's a legitimate threat, man. For all the bloviating we do about Ryan Garcia and him popping dirty or whatever, man, it's still you still couldn't find a way to hold the phone. You know what I'm saying? And you kept getting clipped by the left hook. You kept getting clipped by the left hook. And Ryan Garcia is not as accomplished, seasoned, or as skilled as someone like a Ramirez. He's just not. He's not. And this is he's a big puncher. Y'all are the same height. Y'all are the same size. And he's a proven bigger puncher than a Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? The minute just all the shit that you got away with, coming in 20 pounds over the weight limit or whatever the case may be. Nobody ever banged on you for that. But it was kind of a forgotten situation. But the minute you fought somebody who was of equal size and height to you, the struggles that that you was met with, say no fucking more. You dig what I'm saying? But I get you. First off, let's go back, man. People don't your level. People's disdain with you didn't start with you suing somebody. People's level, disdain started with you was with the Lomachenko fight. The Lomachenko fight. You know what I'm saying? Everybody feels you lost that fight. Well, more than enough people feel that you lost that fight. And your dad on there talking about he ain't doing enough to deserve no rematch or whatever the case may be. And that wasn't even your words. That was your pop's words. And this is why it's tantamount to let these boys that y'all raised be the men that y'all raised them to be. Your pops on there talking about Lomachenko don't deserve no rematch. He ain't doing enough to deserve a rematch. And then, you go into the Regis Pro Grade fight, and Regis comes out and says, yo, man, that dude came in 20 pounds over the weight limit. That kind of got swept under the rug or whatever, man. And Regis was banging on you about that. He's feeling some type of way about that. Just for you to turn around, you get Ryan Garcia the extra pounds, y'all get that show for it, and you get battered the way that you get battered. And the temper tantrum you throw in the immediate aftermath of that is why people feel some type of way that they feel about you. It's the reason why you getting booed in LA. You dig? You threw that temper tantrum. You fought that Mexican dude at that carnival, and you got the nerve to turn around and sue niggas for assault and battery, bro. Like, it just don't make no sense. So you get bought, during the presser, the presser or whatever, man. Ty Grisham is asking you the questions that he's asking you, and your dad, because he don't want to take the shit out on the crowd and risk, getting, beat the fuck up for doing it. What he do? He just gonna take all that aggravation out on Ty Grisham. You're a piece of shit. You ain't introduced Devin the way that he needed to be introduced. You ain't asked Ryan the question he needed to be. He's like, bro, he brought up the ped use, and he brought up he's saying Devin's praises, but I think y'all are expecting niggas to, throw roses at this dude's feet or whatever, and that's just not the case. That's not the case at all. Ty Grisham didn't do anything wrong. And so now we fast forward to Gabe Rosado to Gabe Rosado saying the shit that he said. And he, like I said, he wasn't wrong. He was not wrong in saying what he said. And so Devin Haney goes on this tirade and starts posting shit and just talking real slick or whatever. Now, granted, sometimes you just see people can say a boatload of shit to you or about you, and it could just be that one motherfucker. It's just like, you of all people just got me fucked up. I don't know why it's just so having to be you that's triggering me the way that you triggering me, but you nigga that's triggering me. So I'm gonna just wild out on you. And that, a LeBron and Stephen A. Smith kind of situation. And that's just how it go. You dig? That's just how it go, man. Like, Devin just so happened to wild out on Gabe Rosado, and then here comes Bill to the rescue. And Bill took the shit a step up. The thing is, man, Devin Haney is at least a professional fighter. You not. The last time you got to talking slick about a professional fighter, that, hey, yo, man, let's go to the restroom real quick, my dude. Let's go lock horns in the restroom. Man, you did not want to go. You didn't take foot in that direction. You didn't take a step in that direction towards the bathroom. And that's not saying that you need to be scared of a nigga just because he's a trained fighter. It's just simply saying, man, tread lightly. Tread lightly, because that motherfucker right there ain't wired like the rest of these niggas over here. When you spend a decade plus fighting to get paid, fighting for a living, man, you wired a little bit different, man. Them shots to the head that you done took, they may not take to your lip, your lip service in the capacity that somebody else might be able to. So, man, all right, let's go over here, man. Let's see if you got all that action you talking about. So you on live or whatever. Yes, on the boxing on the boxing boys panel or podcast, whatever you want to call it. You just getting real extra with the lips. You a bitch. You a pussy. You did, like, bro. For real. You extra'd out, man. And Gabe Rosado was saying some real shit, bro. Like, I never sued. I got robbed against Peter Quillen, and I never sued nobody for assault and battery. And when he said, when you got to tell you a bitch, you talking this bitch shit, he's like, bro, you sued. I don't get how y'all just continue to evade that, but you sued for assault and battery. You sued another professional fighter for assault and battery. I don't give a fuck what way you slice it to try to justify this lawsuit. You sued a nigga for assault and battery as a professional fighter. You sued. You knew he was coming in overweight. The Austrian, I bet. You dig? I'm not. He's a ped. He popped for peds. By all means, go get at him for that. Go get at him for that. But him coming in overweight or whatever, man, you knew he was gonna do that, and you gave it. Hey, you shook on it. All right, cool. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you still. It's not gonna matter. And when all else fails, I'll see you in court. Now you got just like y'all are not moving properly, bro. Y'all are not moving properly, and you talking to you probably a bastard. Your daddy ain't in you. Like, what type of shit is you on, bro? My black people, y'all put yourself on the other shoe, right? Cause just put yourself in, put yourself in their position. When people relegate us to fried chicken, or the minute they strike up a conversation with us, or something along the lines of fried chicken or rap music or crack or gang banging or being arrested, anything along them lines, we would immediately take that shit as an inflammatory comment that you made about us, and it's disingenuous, it's disrespectful, it's bigoted, because all of this shit is surrounded by bigotry. It's surrounded by media propaganda, all that shit. So you feel some type of way about them doing that. Fatherless households in Black America plagued us for decades, man. When Section 8 hit, when that shit came down, when that became a policy, and that policy was pushed, and there was you could not live on government assistance if it was a man in the household. That created a lot of fatherless households. So if somebody was to just jump out the window and say some dumb shit like that to us, you're probably a bastard. You probably don't even know your daddy. Nigga, we gonna take offense to that. Why would you come out your mouth and think that shit is acceptable to say to somebody else? Y'all don't think And y'all think, and niggas think because we've been through this level of subjugation that we've been through, that we're void of being bigoted and prejudice, and we're not, bro. We're not. Y'all don't. I don't get that shit, man. Like it's not. It costs nothing to pay somebody respect. Respect is free. Unless someone draws that line in the sand where disrespect is due, man, simply respect that man. Simply respect that man. For you to come out your mouth and say that shit and then get proven wrong, it's like, bro, at this point you reaching for shit because you don't want to be wrong, and it comes off as corny. There was nothing wrong with what Gabe Rosado said, and a lot of the shit that he was saying on it, bro, y'all memes, and he's right. Y'all are memes. Y'all are memes. Y'all still getting eviscerated online, bro. Like, cause that's that. At some point, y'all gotta become retrospective and say, yo, man, how we moving is just out of pocket. Why? Because we are suing another fighter for assault and battery. You can't get around it. There's no getting around that. There's no getting around that. You don't lose a fight and then sue somebody, Brody. That's just not the warrior way. That is contradictive and counterintuitive to your profession. The fuck are you talking about? You gonna sue a nigga? You got crashed. It is what it is. Get your get back. And even in that presser, Devin was like, "Yeah, man, he was, he was a drug cheat. You dig? It is what it is. Cool, take that and use that as a fuel. Use that as your fuel to get back in the rematch." I wasn't mad at that, man. But your pops keep thinking that he needs to come to your rescue when you ain't even wilding like that, man. And you trying to embrace this villain role, homeboy. You're not the villain. You not none of that. And I wouldn't want to be the villain. That shit is being disliked is uncomfortable to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I want to be cool with everybody. You dig? I'm not saying that I'm about to go out and seek validation, but if it's a motherfucker like, man, I don't like that nigga, I want to know what I do. You dig? I'm a relatively cool nigga. So to be disliked, and when you're in a sport where people's fondness of you is what's gonna pay your bills, you definitely don't want to play the villain role. Y'all are too caught up in this Floyd Mayweather moniker, bro. If it ain't perfection, it's the Philly shell. If it ain't the Philly shell, it's to be in the villain so people can pay to see you lose. No, y'all are not Floyd. Y'all not Floyd. You don't have the skill set to be Floyd. You don't have the accolades on the resume to be Floyd. Kill all that noise. You're not the villain at all. Fuck out of here. So I'm saying, man, like, just at some point you gotta look in the mirror and say, yo, you gotta look to rectify things with what it is that y'all did. And what y'all did was sue another man for assault and battery. And Gabe Rosado was really wilding on your pops for that, man. Your pops on it, just going down his list of accolades. Oh man, the BKB, you never been a champion and yada yada. Okay, cool. You know what he was? A warrior. You know what? That's what he definitely was. Niggas paid homage to Gabe Rosado when he decided to hang the gloves up. They saluted him. You a gatekeeper, cool. He's a he's a tough test for everybody, man. Gabe Rosado was equivalent to what Derek Chisora is over there in the UK. You got lost and so the fuck what? He knocked out Beck the Bully. Knocked him the fuck out. Not Gabe Rosado, but Derek Chisora, what did he do? He knocked out Joe Joyce. Beat the shit out of Otto Wallin, man. Like, these just warriors right here. You keep talking about he never been a champion. Neither was Derek Chisora. And that's rich coming from somebody who's never even fought, but who's never even been in a professional, who's never boxed. And what he was saying was true in the sense of, it's like, just not everybody can be a champion. You never been a champion. You're right. A very small percentage of people come to be champions in the sport of boxing. You're right. You're absolutely right. But the thing is, y'all are wilding on this dude because he voiced an opinion, and it wasn't even a disrespectful or a wrong opinion. Jose is not no dude that you want to have a comeback fight with, but that also speaks to the G and Devin Haney for even taking a fight like this. So it's not shade being thrown at him, man. Like it's not shade being thrown at him, bro. You just super in your feelings because you don't like the fact that your son has been painted as the bad guy when he was the one who was wrong. I get it. I get it. I honestly do. I get it, man. But at the end of the day, y'all added fuel to the fire with that lawsuit. And if you wanted to win the hearts of the fans back, y'all should have made that sacrifice and went and gave Lomachenko that rematch. Y'all should have did that. Y'all definitely should have did that. Y'all lost a lot of steam behind that fight, bro. You got booed in the arena, and y'all have been trying to, y'all have been, kind of lost that season since that fight. Y'all got booed in the arena. It's a reason for that. Y'all got booed. Booed. You dig? Y'all got booed. So y'all are still trying to make, y'all are still trying to win back the fans that you lost after that fight. Then fast forward a year or two down the line and you suing a nigga for assault and battery, bro. That is way out of pocket. That is way out of pocket. Don't sue nobody for assault and battery as a professional pugilist, my guy. That just ain't the move. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, Bill, you gotta chill. You gotta chill, dude. You can't bang on Gabe Rosado for his lack of him not ever being a champion and all the losses that he has, man. What did he say? I never sued nobody. I got cheated. I got robbed. I've never sued nobody. Peter Quillen, Golovkin, Danny Jacobs, Beck the Bully, Jaime Munguia. It's a good resume. Came up short in all of them, the majority of them. It is what it is, though. He's like, I made my millions, and that's another thing that I don't like, man. We made more money than you. So the fuck what? Man, listen. If I get 10 M's, right, and I get into it with a motherfucker who's a billionaire, it just is what it is, bro. Like, put it like, I'm not gonna have, like, if I'm comfortable sitting on my 10 M's. I can travel the world. I can, because I'm in a higher tax bracket, I got leeway to go and do other shit or whatever. I'm not just relegated to a 9 to 5. That's cool with me. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. But money doesn't buy character. Money doesn't buy character, man. And when you lack character, people see it. They see, they see it, and it causes people to kind of, feel some sort of animosity towards you because just money. Everything is just money. I can't trust a motherfucker who's just on some money shit. I just can't. I gotta get away from you, man. Because I just feel like if given the opportunity, you would sell me down the river, to increase your pay rate. All right, cool, you got that. And what he said, yo, man, he said, your son is one of many. I'm one of a kind or some shit. Like, if we being real, he got a point. He has a point. You take your losses as a man. You take your beat downs as a man. You don't sue nobody. You don't sue nobody. You cannot be mad that they're acting the way that they're acting towards your son with the moves that y'all are making. And you damn sure can't be mad at somebody giving their opinion, especially an ex-professional fighter, because it's a valid reason as to why he said what he said, and I personally agree with him. To the extent that this was not the best fight for him to take. I personally think it was the best fight for him to take, but I think it's a dangerous fight. So, man, stop with the extra shit, man. That's pretty much all I got to say about it, man. Bill, go sit your ass down somewhere, bro. Doses.